web of contacts and agents imaginable, each of whom they control with masterly skill as a puppeteer controlling 1,000 marionettes with but a single hand. The identity of the Machinator is often withheld from those they control, their missives and instructions passed to them by encrypted, untraceable transmission conduits or delivered by way of a dead letter drop. Indeed, the Machinator's agents may have well met their master face to face without ever having known of it. The Machinator is a political animal of the highest caliber. They invariably involve themselves as much with the convoluted power struggles within the Inquisition as they do with the broiling heresies of the Greater Imperium. In all likelihood, they have many enemies in both camps, and even their fellow Inquisitors may not have met them in person for many solar decades, so mindful must they be of their rivals' petty hatreds. Such Inquisitors plot and scheme to maneuver their foes into positions of weakness, slowly infiltrating agents into enemy organizations. Evidence of guilt is gathered, but that is merely the opening phase in the Machinator's scheme. Next, they work tirelessly to seed weaknesses in their enemy's power base, compromising systems, assassinating allies and servants, and infiltrating defenses. Yet even they must take to the field when their enemies rise. That is why they gather about them a cadre of the most trusted of their agents, those they trust above all others not to betray them. And through the smoke and rubble appears the form of the Machinator. Inquisitorial rosette brandished in one hand, bold pistol raised in the other. There are many Inquisitors within the Ordo Calixis who may be described in these terms. The greatest is perhaps Inquisitor Silas Marr, who appears to many to be seated at the vast spider's web of conspiracy and power. Those who intrude upon his business are often warned off, in the first instance at least, though rarely by Marr in person. Those too arrogant or ignorant to heed such a warning make themselves a powerful enemy. Many other times an Inquisitor has followed a lead only to find it leading back to some concern of Marr's and been forced to drop the matter lest they make a foe of this powerful individual. To what end Silas Marr intends to put his vast network, none can say, or would dare to openly speculate. Next we have the Bombast. Inquisitors are men and women of unshakable faith in the God Emperor, yet some are so consumed by their faith that they wield it as a weapon in and of itself. These firebrands often blur the line between preacher and inquisitor, many attiring themselves in robes akin to those worn by the highest officers of the Adeptus Ministerum. A bombast inquisitor is quick to anger and even quicker to denounce. They see heresy and sin wherever they look, and are quick to throw those they judge guilty to the pyres of justice. Such inquisitors recite a constant stream of holy invective, quoting passages from the holy texts and invoking the names of saints and martyrs of the Emperor with every breath. They are exceptionally intimidating, invoking quivering fear in the unfaithful and utter horror in the heretic. The cadres of these types of inquisitors often include all manner of hierophants, exorcists, and confessors. Their links to the ecclesiarchy may, in addition, result in them being accompanied by one or more Sisters of Battle of the Adepta Sororitas, potent and zealous warriors indeed, with a fearsome reputation amongst the enemies of the imperial cult. Bombasts are unsubtle individuals, with a tendency to ignore the minutiae of an investigation. This often brings them into conflict with others of the Inquisition. The arrival on a world of a bombastic Inquisitor might ruin standard years of work by a subtler agent. Yet sometimes covert Inquisitors follow in the bombast's wake, often without their knowledge, watching to see whether any previously unknown enemies attempt to flee, otherwise reveal their hands. Despite a blunt approach to the calling of the Inquisitor, Bombast is amongst the boldest of all the servants of the Holy Ordos of the Emperor's Inquisition. They have been known to face the most terrifying of enemies, armed with little more than the word of the Emperor, and prevail. The deeds and words of such an individual can rally an entire population to cast off a renegade planetary governor, or to take up arms against an overwhelmingly powerful alien invasion. They often lead from the very front of the armies of the faithful, imbued with a burning faith in the God Emperor of mankind so fierce that it kindles similar zealousness in the hearts of all who witness it. Next, the Judicar. The Judicar Inquisitor is an individual who approaches their calling in almost the exact opposite manner to the investigator. They assume guilt and demand evidence to the contrary, being the prosecutor, judge, and often executioner. Such individuals rarely accept any evidence placed before them that contradicts their charge. Such inquisitors normally travel about from world to world with great ceremony, surrounding themselves with an entire traveling court of clerks, attendants, and flunkies. Upon arrival, they announce a court of assize, often commandeering the most awe-inspiring of locations for their purposes. Charges against certain individuals are then posted, and the accused brought before the court. Only those of the highest rank have any hope of refuting the charges, but in all likelihood, these would not have been charged in the first place. Volume after volume of case law is produced and added to during the trial. The Judicar often ensures that the proceedings of their court are entered into the rolls of the planet's own laws, enshrining their every word into law for generations to come. Some such individuals maintain entire armies of seconded arbitrators, imposing their own law upon those forced to suffer their visitations. When such itinerant precincts arrive upon a world, no one is immune from the smashing in of doors in the middle of the night, constant searches, and the spontaneous imposition of totalitarian laws. Entire worlds have burned at the command of such inquisitors, and their names often live on for many standard centuries as the subject of cautionary tales to strike fear into the hearts of the multitudes. And the final one, the Idealist. Upon being granted the inquisitorial rosette, many inquisitors are at a stage in their lives when they still harbor a faint hope that mankind can redeem itself of its sinful ways and turn back the tide of darkness that threatens to engulf the entire galaxy. Most are soon disabused of this notion by bitter experience or an untimely death. Idealists often gravitate towards the various Puritan schools of thought concerning the Inquisition's role, although in time some find themselves traveling a very different path. Idealists seek out that in the spirit of mankind which is worth saving, but in so doing often find themselves renouncing that which falls below their exacting standards. They embark upon personal crusades to exact vengeance upon the criminal and the heretic, and often seek to rally others to their cause. Sadly, many find themselves estranged from their peers, many of whom have simply seen it all before and cut off from aid when they need it most. Many of the older, more embittered Inquisitors of the Ordos Calixis have been observed to take great delight in watching such young firebrands come to ruin. Some may even have engineered such a situation, only to offer the hand of friendship which the individual has no choice but to accept. And then the young idealist might find themselves in the thrall of a far more powerful master, whose philosophies and factional leanings might be entirely at odds with their own. Despite the obvious pitfalls faced by such Inquisitors, every now and then, one of their kind does achieve true greatness. Some even attain sainthood, so genuinely pure and good are their intentions. In a galaxy as corrupt and barbaric as that of the 41st millennium, the lives and deeds of such individuals are often little more than a brief spark of light amidst a looming, all-encompassing Stygian night. Yet some make their stand against the forces of darkness, and make a difference, no matter how slight, in the battle for the very survival of humanity.